Hello, YouTube. Welcome to another live recording of the Are You Green podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are looking to stay up to date on news around the New York Stock Exchange, other business news, as well as swing trading, me sharing my strategies as well as my trades with you guys, please subscribe and like this video. I really appreciate it. And it's been so exciting to start this channel and kind of bring in the audience from the podcast and new people on YouTube. So welcome. And with that being said, let's just dive right into today's podcast. Hello, traders and friends. Today is Wednesday, December 23rd, and the stock market opened a little lackluster with some down numbers in the beginning of trading. And then today, it's just been climbing up ever since. So I actually lucked out. My personal life has been insane today. I had a lot of meetings this morning, and I didn't get to put all of my energy towards trading. And as luck would have it, the market didn't even start to pick up until this afternoon. And I was able to get into a few trades as well as close a swing trade. So I'll share that with you in a moment. The SPY previously was at 367.24. It's now around 368.92. Is the SPY green? Yes, it is. The XLK was previously at 129.19 at yesterday's close, and now it's at 128.80. So is the technology sector green today? No, it's not. It is red. And across all sectors of the S&P 500, it's green today, except for tech and real estate. I found this to be so interesting because just yesterday, when we talked about, oh my goodness, my phone just rang, and that's going to get in the middle of the recording. So yes, today the S&P 500 is green across all sectors except for tech and real estate. I thought this was so interesting because yesterday the S&P 500 was red everywhere except for tech and real estate. So this just kind of shows you the volatility in the markets and how the reds and greens flip-flop all the time. And then it just reinforces the fact that you need to really make a trading plan, and you need to be able to sit and be happy in the red so that you can get those profits and be in the green overall. And with that, everybody wants to know, what is my account look like? Am I green? Yes, I am green today. So it's, was a good day for the stocks that I'm holding, as well as a sale that I made. But coming up, we will dive into the news today around the stimulus, the spending and income report for November, some updates around the vaccine, and also looking at two top movers. So stay tuned. Awesome. Thank you so much again for watching on YouTube. It is a little challenging recording the podcast and live streaming at the same time. So I'm going to take this water break. So thank you again. And please feel free to follow me on Instagram at Are You Green Podcast. I love getting direct messages from people and talking about trades on a one-on-one basis. So, okay. Let's dive back into the podcast. Last night, President Trump oh my goodness, my words are all over the place today. Sorry, guys, especially those watching this back. Another tidbit is that if you hear something on the live stream that doesn't make sense, please go back and listen to the Are You Green podcast, because I do edit this audio. So, okay. Last night, Trump votes. I'm just done. I'm so done. Last night, President Trump voiced his opinion on the stimulus relief package that hit his desk for him to sign off on it, and the bill will then become a law, right? Only not, because Trump made it very clear that he was not satisfied with the bill. He listed a couple of points, one being that $600 is nothing and Americans need more money and a larger check. So his push is for $2,000. So that is really interesting to hear. He also thought that the bill was a little heavy on money given to special interest groups. That being said, right after he voiced his opinions, Nancy Pelosi also said that she agrees and she's like, ready, let's, give more money to the people. And I just thought this was so interesting because, if there's a matter that Trump and Pelosi can agree on, I just feel like, that's going to be the best for America. And we need to just get this done. So, it is kind of interesting to see these two people at least agree on the issue that Americans are struggling right now and we need relief. So hopefully we'll see a change happen there. And of course, I'll update you guys as changes come. The spending report came out with November's number, and they did show a decrease in spending in November as well as income. So those go hand in hand. Again, this report reinforces the fact that Americans do need that stimulus check money. And then while COVID rages on, we did reach a milestone today for 1 million vaccinated. So there's been 1 million vaccines that have been given out so far, and they approved more orders of the Pfizer vaccine this morning. So it is going to be exciting to follow that path to try to get as many people vaccinated as possible so that our economy can finally start to recover, as opposed to the kind of stalemate that we've been in the last 7 months, especially not here at Wall Street, but down at Main Street. So that's a comparison that I like to make. Even if Wall Street is doing great, Main Street can, be so disconnected, and it's heartbreaking, really. And I hope that this stimulus is able to lift up a lot of people, and that we can get everyone vaccinated and finally move on from this pandemic. So that's it for the news today. Let's move on to our top movers. I was shocked when I saw that Macy's today has been up 9%. There's no real news around this, and it was shocking because we also got the spending report that was down. So honestly, this just explains further why I do not want to predict the markets, and why I like reacting based on the data that I see on the charts rather than, just kind of reacting to this herd mentality. So what I thought was interesting about the Macy's chart is when I look at my favorite time frame, it's looking at 5-minute candles at a 90-day time period. I can very easily see the pivots that have been laid out with this ticker and the movements, right? So we have 2 strong pivot points, quarterly pivot points. And, the high one is at 11.18. The low one is at 9.63. And it is interesting that, Macy's is bouncing right along this corridor. And so I don't think it's going to continue to go any further, much past 11.18. And I do have this ticker on the watch for when it gets down and hits that 9.6 level again, for a possible buy, depending again on how fast the movement is and so on. But again, that is something that I'm going to watch. If I had a strategy where I got longs, so like I bought longs and then I also participated in shorts, then I would consider shorting Macy's at this point. But that's not my strategy. And I like to stick to what I do best and consistently make my profits and feel very confident in my trades. But for those of you out there who are looking for a short opportunity, this might be one. The other huge move was FEYE. That's FEYE. This is a part of the cybersecurity issue that we talked about yesterday. So it was interesting. As soon as the news came through of the cyber attack, FireEye was the first one to report. They, interestingly enough, reported that it's not the data that was stolen, it's their actual tools. Knowing that kind of concerned me, because if they have the tools that a security company is using and now they can use those tools, like, don't we now need new tools? Like, isn't that obsolete? So I don't know. Honestly, I don't work in cybersecurity. If anybody who listens to the podcast does, please feel free to message me at my Instagram account. It's at RU Green Podcast, because I would love to learn a little bit more about this, especially since it's going to be a hot topic in 2021. And, FEYE might be a good company to swing in the future. But today it is up 8%. And with that, everything that comes up comes down. So I do have an alert at 2015 for a possible buy. So we'll see how that goes. And let's just dive right into my personal trades after I take this water break. I think because it's getting colder outside, it's harder for me to just continue to talk and talk and talk. So thank you guys for the YouTube listeners watching this back. And for daily episodes, you can listen to the RU Green podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you listen to podcasts. So here we go. My personal trades today included a buy and a sell of Moderna. Moderna. Oh my God, I can't. Moderna, MRNA, was a swing trade that I entered into yesterday. I gave you guys my average yesterday. It was at 125.62. I reported a target of 133, and then I would consider, selling at 128. So this morning, a buy got filled at 122.90. So that was the last low point I had in to buy. Once that got filled, my average lowered to 124.94. And at that point, because it did go a little bit lower and fill that, I went ahead and canceled any orders I had to sell, because I want to watch the movement. And I felt like there might have been a chance that it could bypass that 128 level. And I'm so glad that I did this. So, I did watch this ticker right off the open and onto the day. And I moved my sell price from that lower 128 range down up to 129.60, and that's where I got filled. I did sell almost all of this stock that I was holding. I have a very small piece left because I think it can get to the target of 133, so I'm going to hold on to that. But I did sell a majority, and with that, the ticker has just gone straight up today, and I was able to sell at the 129.60 because it's a little bit higher than where the pivot point was. And just watching the 1 minute candles, I wasn't sure it was going to go much higher than that. So I sold for a 4.66 profit. Really happy about that profit and this trade. And again, I am leaving a little piece on for a 133 target. For those of you looking for more long-term investments, Moderna, I still think, is a really great choice for long-term, because the vaccine has now been approved, and they're going to be rolling out this vaccine for at least the next couple of years. So if you guys are holding this long-term, do not panic sell, and stick to your plan there. The other swing I entered into today is Paychex, PAYX. Honestly, I'm not in love with this ticker or this swing. I saw a huge movement down off the open. There was a big gap. So basically what happened is that it closed last night around 96.65. It gapped up after hours and overnight. And so when I saw that movement up after hours, that's a good indication that there's going to be some good movements at the open. So with that being said, right off the open, pretty much it did, fall back down to the low of yesterday, which was 96.31. So it was when it hit that level that I was like, oh, I'm interested, because then I thought, it's for sure going to have a bounce pretty soon. I did buy a really small piece there, but because there isn't a pivot there, it was so small. And then I put other orders down at the 95 level where there is a weekly pivot. And those were the orders that got filled. So my average on this is 95.75. There is a very strong quarterly pivot down at 94. And I'm concerned that if it drops below this, far below this, then it might not come up in the time period that I need. So I am alert. I do have an alert set for that period. And I am going to be looking to see if I do want to stop out. You guys should know I rarely stop out on trades. I like to give them time to work out. But that is a level I'm looking at for those of you who want to put on like stop levels. That is the one for PAYX currently. And my target is starting at 97, and I'll probably sell, heading up to 97.95. So I'll continue to watch this one with you guys and let you know how it goes. But that is all for today's podcast. It is a shorter week. Again, I just want to remind you guys, tomorrow the market does close at 1 o'clock. And normally I do live stream on Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, as well as record a podcast episode Monday through Friday. Tomorrow, I will be recording an episode. However, Friday, I will not. Basically, when the market is closed, this podcast is closed. Actually, that's not true because I do want to start with having some really interesting like weekend editions. But basically, there won't be the typical news daily trading podcast on Friday. So that's all. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's been wonderful to see this podcast grow and the community interacting with me through direct messages on Instagram. Again, my account is RU Green Podcast, so feel free to message me there. And until tomorrow, please plan your trade and trade that plan. Okay, great. Thank you all for tuning into this YouTube. I know it's been a little messy, but that's what happens when we're live, baby. So that's it. I won't be doing the live stream on Friday. So to YouTube, I will see you next Tuesday. Ooh, see you next Tuesday. This is supposed to be a clean account, but anyways, that was funny. Okay. Take care. Thanks, guys. Please like, please subscribe. Do all those things.